Hello, ma'am. So today I will be discussing the difference between N-type and P-type materials and the condition in no bias, forward bias, and reverse bias. Also, the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic materials. So, what is the difference between N-type and P-type semiconductor materials? So, an N-type semiconductor is formed by adding pentavalent impurities to a pure semiconductors. So, these impurities donate extra electrons, making the electrons the majority charge carriers and the holes the minority carriers. On the other hand, P-type semiconductor materials are formed by adding trivalent impurities which create holes in the material. So it creates holes, thus making holes the majority charge carriers, while electrons are the minority charge carriers. So which is opposite from the N-type, because in N-type the majority charge carriers is the electrons, whereas here it is the holes. So next, in no bias condition. So, in no bias, when no external voltage is applied to the diode, the depletion region remains intact and prevents current from flowing across the junction. So in forward bias condition, when the positive terminal of the power supply is connected to the P-type side and the negative terminal to the N-type side, the depletion region narrows, so gamay siya, and this allows the charge carriers to cross the junction, causing the diode to conduct. So next is the reverse bias condition. So in reverse bias condition, when the positive terminal is connected to the N-type side and the negative terminal to the P-type side, so opposite siya sa forward bias because the positive is connected sa P-type and the negative is connected sa N-type. So again, in reverse bias, the positive terminal is connected sa N-type side and the negative terminal is sa P-type side. And here, the depletion region widens and the barrier becomes stronger. So, opposite po siya again sa forward bias, because dito, ang depletion region narrows. So, and the barrier becomes stronger, and this prevents current flow except for a very small leakage current caused by the minority carriers.
So now I'll be showing a drawing of a simple circuit and a graph of the current for each condition. So first is in no bias. So as you can see in this drawing, there is no external voltage applied to the diode. So there is no current flowing in the circuit. That's why, sa makita ninyo sa graph, sa ako nga drawing, it shows zero current at zero voltage. Next is forward bias. So, in forward bias, you can see in my drawing sa simple circuit that the positive terminal is positive terminal sa battery kay connected siya sa P side and the negative is connected sa N side. That is why ang diode allow ang current nga mo pass through sa circuit, which is why the bulb lights up. And makita nimo sa tapad sa circuit, which is the graph, showing that the current increases rapidly after a certain voltage, showing that the diode conducts in forward bias. So, taas ang iyahang current. Next is sa reverse bias. So, here, the connection of the battery is reversed because the positive terminal is connected sa N side and the negative is connected to the P side. So, this makes the diode block the current, making the bulb remains off. So, walay current. So, dili mo siga ang suga. And in the graph, katapad sa circuit, simple circuit, the current almost stay at zero. But then in the reverse direction, showing that kanang the diode does not conduct, since the basa forward kay taas kayo and paana siya, and reverse bias is paana siya gamay, but then it shows na there is a current flowing, however just a very small current lang, very small leakage of current.
So what is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic material? So the term intrinsic is applied to any semiconductor material that has been carefully refined to reduce the number of impurities to a very low level. So as much as possible, dili siya masagulan og mga impurities. So essentially as pure as it can be made available through modern technology, so that the number of thermally generated free electrons equals the number of holes. On the other side, extrinsic materials are semiconductor material that has been subjected to doping process. So diri adan siya or giadan siya og mga impurities so that ma-increase ang concentration sa either free electrons or holes, thus making it better conductor than the intrinsic material. So making it a better conductor than its intrinsic state or material. I guess that's it. Thank you, ma'am.